Okay. So how do you actually take decisions regarding your professional future? What we are going to discuss today is mainly targeting early career researchers. These are target group at this webinar. But actually what we are going to explain is applicable to researchers at any stage. What we have in common is that we all started our career in academia. So I assume that most of the listeners of you are PhD candidates or postdocs. So they have temporary positions. And after your current position, you have to make a decision. Would you like to continue in academia? So is that something you want? And then you can, if you want this, then you can wonder, are there positions available?
And you could also say, well, I might want to consider continuing outside of academia. But then you have the same question. First is, of course, do you want this? But then very quickly behind it comes, do I feel competent to do that? Do I have the ability to do that? And can I find suitable positions? These are questions that we encounter very often.
Yeah. So now I will tell a little bit about the start of my career to illustrate what kind of dilemmas, questions early career researchers can encounter. So about me, I started to do a master's in biomedical sciences. And during my studies, I found out that research is something I really enjoy. It's really great. So then it's logical step to choose to do a PhD, again in biomedical sciences. I did research in the field of cancer gene therapy using viral vectors. So on the right-hand side, you see a picture of me during my postdoc in London. I had a very great time there. So after I obtained my PhD in 2005, I wanted to continue research because I still thought it was great. So I obtained a 4-year contract in London where I continued doing research in cancer viral therapy. So what I had in mind for my future, so because I had a 4-year contract in 2009, this would end, and I have to make a next step. In that time, all I considered was academic career because that's the only thing I knew. So I thought after my postdoc in 2009, I would start another postdoc, probably back in the Netherlands, and after that postdoc, find assistant professorship or get tenured somewhere. And the ultimate goal would be becoming full professor. Okay, but before the end of my postdoc contract, I really had a great time there. But then if I think of what I wanted to do in future, I thought I would like to look for work that was more people-focused than my current job. It should also involve more communication, and I want to have work with more direct impact. Okay, but this is something I thought that I wanted to have. But if I combine this with my profile, and I could describe myself at that time as a molecular biologist specialized in researching new treatments of advanced prostate cancer with viruses, if I think that if that's the person I am, and I want to do something with more people focus and more communication and more impact, I really had no idea how I could combine this to make something out of that for my future. Okay, so if you think of how do you take decisions regarding your professional future, after a PhD or postdoc, not every early career researcher wants to continue in academia, that's in my case, and if you want, not all of them will be able to continue in academia. And to me, I thought like, if it's not academia, then what else? Because if I just look at myself and what I wanted, I really thought there were no options.
Okay, well, it's a very recognizable story, I think, but it can be very different too. Like, I started off as a PhD in physics, plasma physics. It's the cover of my thesis, and I'm defending it here at Eindhoven University of Technology. But the thing is, I was also very much interested in music, and that led to me doing also conservatory on a very specific instrument called viola da gamba. So you see me doing a TV performance here. And the thing is, after my PhD, I started to go in different directions. I tried out different stuff. I went to work for industry. I worked for Shell, for example. I worked into fusion research, and I also worked full-time as a professional musician. So I tried out different stuff. So I actually left academia for a while, and some people say that's a real no-go. But it's by coincidence I ended up teaching secondary school, which I loved greatly. You see me here doing it and talking to a big hall of kids. But that led to unexpected new possibilities, under which an assistant professorship at Utrecht University in physics, teacher training. But also, I went into theater. I combined physics and music and the theater. And then I met Chiat, and suddenly I was organizing workshops for other people for other highly educated people to help them find their way. So, in my case, it was maybe not the no options, like there were so many options that I had to choose from. So, but it was a sort of a similar issue in a way. So we prepared a little video
clip for you, and I think there's a problem with the sound somehow. I think we're just going to improvise. Okay, just check this.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
Yes. So I'm working a lot with PhDs and postdocs when I coach them, and I often see them encountering a dilemma of how to choose your next career step. So their situation is here. You're in academia right now. You're a PhD or a postdoc.
Of course, you're in a temporary position. I mean, that's logical. By definition, it's a temporary position.
Yeah, postdocs are a very short contract, and you should finish your PhD at one point, huh?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So then you're here, and then you check your options after your current position. So most people check academia because that's where you started your career. You know what it's all about.
It's your comfort zone.
Yeah. Okay, so you take that into account, but you have to keep in mind that not everyone who wants to stay in academia will actually get a place.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But
there's more, of course, more options.
You can go for NGOs, for non-governmental organizations. You can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, there's of course more. I see a lot of people going into industry.
Sure, industry, very, very popular. But it's also very difficult. I mean, do you know people that work in industry?
Yeah, and there's a lot of different positions in industry, and there's more, of course.
Yeah, you could go, for example, you could go in consultancy.
Yeah, I see lots of people I coached in career going to consultancy, and there is even more than this. Okay, but then how do you proceed? Because there's so many options. Academia is something that you know, so you know what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what's expected from you. But then if we look at the non-governmental organization, maybe you see things you like, maybe certain things you don't like, and maybe still have questions. What is expected from you? Same with industry, things you like.
Lots of questions there. Yeah.
Lots of questions, because what's expected from you? What do people do all day? It's something you have to figure out because maybe you don't like it. Consultants, same. Things you like, maybe you don't like, questions.
And the thing is, since you're so highly qualified, you could probably fill any of these positions. That's the main thing. For example, you've got the ability to learn very quickly. I mean, that's one of the things. And then you've got the analytic skills, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you have a big problem, you just chop it into pieces
and solve it. Yeah, that's what you do. And then, of course, you've got your intelligence, which is almost like you almost forget that you have it. But
yeah, we don't have to discuss about that. If you have your PhD, you are intelligent.
Yeah. So you have all these skills, and when you look at these positions, the thing is, you could probably fill them all. And then you might have the inclination to sort of look at the vacancy and then start to mold your profile.
Adapt yourself
to fit that particular vacancy.
Yeah.
And you could do that, but we're asking you, would you like to dare to live your capabilities? You've got the capabilities, so why don't you let your motivation, and we're talking about your true motivation here, maybe your intrinsic motivation, guide you. And it's like putting it in a new lens in between yourself and all these possibilities, all these pluses, minuses, and question marks.
Yeah, and then you can evaluate and verify whether certain positions actually suit your profile.